Hi there, and welcome back to the Rangers News YouTube channel with Jordan and James.
Hello.
Now, following on with the fallout from the Hearts game, obviously when the team came out, there was a bit of a shock for some people who expected to see Morelos leading the line after being suspended for the Braga game, but he wasn't there, nor was he on the bench. Transpired pretty quickly before the game that Gerrard came out and said it was a disciplinary issue and that he hadn't come back from Colombia, a sanctioned trip to Colombia in time, and really there he sort of let his teammates and the club and the supporters down in a game that ultimately saw Rangers crash out of the cup. So, if he's had his problems since he's been at the club, he's scored buckets and buckets of goals, but he's had plenty of problems. And is it time now to sort of consider cutting the losses with him?
Only if the right money's on offer. The whole thing at the weekend it's a really weird one for me. I don't think the club's handled it very well. First of all, I agree with Gerrard that he should not have played at the weekend after a breach of club discipline. Yeah. Fair enough. There's nobody as bigger than Rangers, so hell mend you. You can sit your arse in the stand for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's I have no issue with that whatsoever. He's not the first to get it. He'll certainly not be the last to get it. And there's nothing that Alfredo Morelos brings to the club that means he's above anybody else in terms of being where he's supposed to be at certain times. That said, when Gerrard done his press at the back end of last week, Thursday afternoon, I believe it was, do you remember mentioning Morelos having missed training?
No.
No? Neither can I. Which is funny because Gerrard gives it the big one about how he's always honest in the press, and he would have done himself a hell of a lot of favours by saying that Morelos wouldn't be available on a Saturday night.
So people
because
knew.
once that team line came out at 4 o'clock, 20 past 4, whatever it was, Saturday night. Aye.
Yeah. 5:30
I
kickoff.
was trying to think, 5:30 kick-off, yeah. Aye, so when that team line came out the back of 4 on Saturday night, the immediate question was, where's Morelos? Why is Morelos not on the team? What's going on here? Is there a bus stop? Is there this? Is there that? Is there the next thing? Had Gerrard come out on Thursday said, this has happened, Alfredo won't be involved, nips it in the bud like that.
Yeah. You've
not got people like Keith Jackson this morning out with his wee sly comments about, was it the first time he's went missing this year? It lets people stir the pot, and it plays into the hands of people who, I'm not going to go down the line of saying there's a media agenda against Rangers, but my God, they know that negative Rangers stories will attract clicks.
Yeah.
And we gave them one on a plate.
Yeah, I think obviously the one side of it is that players aren't robots and stuff, so there's going to be stuff going on, and if there's stuff, family stuff back in Colombia that needs sorting or is would benefit from his presence when he's not going to be with the group, I don't think you can begrudge a player going as long as he comes back in good shape and ready to go. And the fact that he wasn't there, knowing that with all the context that Canberra's cup tied, he's not going to be involved. Defoe hasn't played for over a month, and if he does just about make it, he's going to be on the bench. He's not going to be able to start. You're really pushing your luck. And also, this is a guy who's been given umpteen new contracts, loads of faith put in him, and rightly so. And with the background of quite a lot of harsh media coverage, but he's had loads and loads of backing from the club, and he hasn't turned up since Christmas. He's been unlucky a couple of times with goals that were ruled out, that especially, the offside certainly one should have counted, the push in the back. He was harshly done by there, but he hasn't really turned up since the break. And this isn't a guy who's went, I'm a big time Charlie of, I score in every game I play in. That was true before Christmas, but simply, I think he's got 1 and 8 or something since the break. Yeah. So to do that in the context of the whole thing and how important the game was is mind-blowing, especially for a guy who missed the previous game because he was suspended. So the only reason he was allowed to go away was the benevolence of the manager or the coaching staff.
that's one of the things as well that struck me was that on Saturday Gerrard had said how he decided to go with the players who had been there for the match preparation and had been through the process to kind of prepare for the game. Yeah. What were they doing on Wednesday that Morelos missed? Oh no, wait, the first team were in Portugal. What did he miss?
Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think that's what he's trying to be cute. I may be wrong here, but kind of my take on it is that looking at the way the dates and the fixtures fell, if he's out training on Wednesday, he's going to be training with the kids, or he's going to be doing like some light fitness work. Right, yeah. So he's trying to be cute. I'll chance it. Take an extra day. I'm not going to miss really anything. Yeah. And it's came back and bit him in the arse. Now again, as I say, I completely agree with Gerrard's position to discipline him. No issues with that. But I think he's been silly more than it's been kind of any deliberate, I'm unhappy here, I want to go, I want to be elsewhere, whatever else. I wouldn't blame him given some of the coverage. Yeah. Like some of the stuff in the Scottish media has been racist, it's been xenophobic, it's been verging on legally actionable. And, if I was a young guy in a foreign country who didn't really speak the language, although he does speak a bit of English, despite what folk want to tell you, you just need to watch him on the pitch. I could see why it'd not be the happiest here. If it was me and I was in Colombia and I was getting a kind of similar treatment, I'd probably be the first plane back to Scotland. But at the same time, he's a very, very, very well-paid young guy. Very well-paid young guy. So yeah, he's got that obligation to be there and to do what he's paid tens of thousands of pounds a week to be doing. So it is a hard one. I mean, the thing is, see when you go back through Rangers history, in the last 20, 30 years, see if that had been certain other players. How brilliant. See if that was Gascoigne. He was away in the piss for a couple of days. How brilliant is Gazza?
Be brilliant, yeah, when he plays.
If that had been McCoy to wait the horses for a night and wound up in a jail cell, know that anything like that had ever happened before and he missed training. Yeah. Again, it would still be one of these kind of cult hero stories 25, 30 years on.
I think the problem is obviously then the result magnifies the pressure on it as well, but also it's just the fact that there have been so many incidents that he has been back to the hilt over. I think the one against Braga was ludicrous. You're a player, and everyone says, and we've said it, I've said it, he's a player who plays in the edge, and you don't want to take that away from him. He can't be going around, being like, I'm not going to touch anyone, but I'm going to try and lead the line here properly. But that was moronic to pick up a book in half an hour into a home game where you'll miss a massive second leg if you do it, and to do it by turning around and, in Europe, referees love running up and, waving the cards in the face and all that. A foul's given against him, or it was an offside, and he turns around and, throws the arm at the referee, and there's only ever going to be one outcome from that. But the thing is that, everyone loves him and he scores the goals and all that, but you simply can't get away with it if it just continues to happen. So the disciplinary stuff last year was ludicrous. Then at the start of this year, it was like, oh, he's turned over a new leaf, this is class, he's only picked up 5-6 bookings, no reds, and then you come to just before the winter break, obviously he gets sent off at Celtic. He gets sent off at Motherwell, sent off at Celtic. Then he comes back. He's given an extended holiday. He comes back. Then he's not scoring any goals, but he misses several games, key games with suspension. Then he's not scoring goals. Then he's suspended. He misses a game. Then he goes away and he doesn't come back in time. Like, that is not good enough in anyone's books because, as you say, he's one of the highest paid players at the club. And it's not as if any Rangers fans can get away with not turning up for work if they don't fancy it at a great time. So I don't know.
There have been occasions.
But I think if you have, looking forward, how do Rangers approach this? Does he play against Hamilton? Mm-hmm. So actually this video is probably coming out, the day after that. So we'll see how he goes.
Yeah, for me, he has to start against it. Has to. For me, at least, there's now a line drawn under the issue. It's been dealt with. It's been disciplined. He's been disciplined. Sorry, And yeah, that should be the end of it. I think to keep him out the side for another game would be very, very short-sighted, particularly when you see how poor the Rangers attack were at the weekend against Hearts. I mean, do you really keep a 29-goal striker at that side to bring Greg Stewart or a half-fit Defoe in? Or do you go,
Canberra?
We've dealt with this. I'd start Canberra out wide.
Yeah, because he did quite well there against Braga. But then I suppose the main point long-term that we're looking at is come the summer, the Rangers say, you've been brilliant for us, you've scored loads of goals, but you genuinely can't be relied upon to be available for big games, and therefore we're going to try and get someone else. I
don't even think that will necessarily come into it. I think it will purely just be a financial decision. If somebody comes in and offers whatever the magic number is, and the club have said 20-25 million pounds, somebody comes in and offers that, it could be whiter than driven snow, they'll still sell.
Yeah. I just think at the minute, though, of the way things have gone recently, if you looked before, back end of 2019, some big club's going to come in and give that easily, but I don't think any of this really changes much of it. It'll maybe give clubs a little bit to have a cause for concern, but if clubs have watched this guy over the last 18 months, 24 months, and they've seen a prolific goal scorer who absolutely he has his moments. Yeah, there's quite a few players at the upper echelon who are supremely talented footballers who, for want of a better word, were dicks. Ronaldinho was the really big one. I'm no for a second saying he's on that kind of same plane as Ronaldinho. But I mean, I've seen this firsthand, having lived in Barcelona for a bit. You could go into certain nightclubs in Barcelona the night before a game, and there's Ronaldinho giving it the big licks. As long as he does what he's paid to do on the pitch, it doesn't become a thing. And admittedly, Morelos' form's dropped off a little bit. But I think we've seen enough over. We're almost at the end of his third season in Scotland now. 2.5 seasons he's been here. Yeah. And he's been prolific near as damn it the entire time. So I wouldn't be too worried that his form's not going to return. So when it then comes to the summer, if clubs do come in for him, I don't think there will be really much weight given to perceived disciplinary issues or behavioural issues or anything like that. Okay, so wait and see what happens in the summer, but for now, needs to pull the socks up disciplinary-wise and start contributing, try and be a positive end of the season.